distinguished guests and brothers and sisters. I'm sure you're all just completely enjoying the energy of the morning. I certainly am. And what an absolute privilege to be here with you today. If I look out from this stage, I see some familiar faces, I see different shapes, different sizes, different colors, different histories. Now, if I trust my eyes, my mind will tell me that I cannot know you. If I trust my eyes, you are strangers to me in this moment. In fact, if I trust my eyes, my body will get nervous. Why? Because it can count. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and it sees, oh my gosh, there are more of you than me. And despite the fact that you look rather nice people, my body will begin to feel threatened. We're talking about oneness, but do we get to experience it? Not often. Why not? Because we trust our eyes. Because our eyes tell us, I cannot know you. I cannot know your heart. Our eyes tell us, you are separate to me. My eyes might tell me that between you and I is just emptiness. That we are like islands floating around in an empty space. My life has taught me one thing, and it's something that I would like to share with you today. My life has taught me to not trust my eyes. There is another way to see. And in fact, standing here reminds me of a younger version of me. I cast my mind back and I remember being approximately 9 years of age. Can you remember being 9? At 9 years of age, I sat on the floor of a school hall, and unlike this one, it was a flat hall with some chairs and then a stage in front. I was an incredibly shy human being. I was shy because I was scared of people. And in fact, I didn't like people very much. I didn't like people very much because I thought if I didn't like them first, I'd beat them to it. And the only reason we don't like people is because we are afraid. Now here we are talking about oneness, and yet why are we afraid of each other? We are absolutely, fundamentally afraid of each other. We are afraid to be different. We are afraid of counting more than one of us, of facing a bigger than. There I was sitting in the school hall, and we had this Irish music teacher sitting giving us a class in music and folk song. And at some point, I think he must have gotten really frustrated with these 9-year-olds, because he said, look, since singing isn't working, any of you here who feel moved to come up to the stage and say something or sing a song, say a poem, whatever moves you, just do that. Now, you have to understand that I was so incredibly shy that being visible was literally my deepest, deepest fear. It was my deepest fear because I had started life in an interesting way. At the age of 4, I developed a tumor about the size of a large egg just behind this eye. So my first experience of being with other people was that being visible equaled pain. Whenever my mom took me out to the shopping centers or the malls, I would receive stares from people. And in fact, the less polite people used to gasp. Because there was a little 4-year-old with big blue eyes, pale skin, really pretty, and she had this large growth sticking out of her face. So my body learned very, very quickly to feel separate. Now I bet you didn't need a tumor to feel the same. We all have our tumors. We all have our reason to feel separate, our reason to feel like an island in a sea of emptiness. We all have our reason to be afraid of people. And I was afraid of eyeballs. I was afraid of people seeing me. I was so afraid that, in fact, I developed a habit, and the habit was to look down a lot and to try to hide my face. And I did that because I also thought, if I didn't see you, you couldn't see me. So you saw this little 4-year-old walking around not looking at anyone. A couple of years later, I was now in a school system, and at school you're supposed to integrate with people. And here I am sitting in the school hall, and this Irish music teacher has now said, whoever wants to come up to stage, please come up. Now I'm sitting there with my head down, and I notice my hand going up. Did my heart race? Yes. Now the short gap between sitting on that floor and getting onto the stage included this internal negotiation process. It sounded a lot like begging. And it was this voice inside saying, what the hell are you thinking? And I'm trying to come up with a backup plan. I'm trying to remember, is there a poem I can think of? I know I can't sing, that's just going to be scary. So I'm walking up to the stage, having no idea about what it is that I'm going to actually say once I am there. My friends are equally mystified because they know me as this shy little Colleen. And there I am standing on the stage, and a strange thing occurred. I felt incredible peace. And I found myself as a 9-year-old telling my whole class, including the teacher, to be quiet. And I said to them, my tumor taught me something, that you cannot rely on your sense of sight. Because my sight was nearly taken away, and in fact my life also, by the tumor, it taught me that you have to find another way to see, or else you will be left in the dark, literally. And so I said to these people sitting there, I said, if you have to trust which to believe in, what your eyes tell you or what your heart tells you, trust always your heart. And I asked them to close their eyes and to imagine that they could not in fact see, but rather to feel and to experience the people sitting around them and to experience the space in a different way. I don't know who was more impressed, them or me. After they opened their eyes, the teacher was a little tearful. I was a bit confused. And when I walked down, the bell rang, Saved by the Bell, and off I walked. And I'm picking up my school bag, and I'm thinking to myself, what just happened? And this is what I'd like to share with you today.